Hello everyone, it's Christine from the channel Christine and Celeste, and I can see my mic working. I'm using my computer mic today because my small one goes on and off for the moment. So I wanted to share another spread. Yes, I'm going into spreads. For me, who never does spreads for the moment, I just like to do spreads. And I will be using the Medicine Woman Tarot deck for this spread. Now, this comes from the fact, it's by Carol Bridges. This comes from the fact that I've decided to, I would like my camera to focus. It won't turn the focus. Okay. I've decided to focus. Okay. I've decided to stop buying this year a lot of decks and more consolidate my collection. As in, I have some decks, I don't have the books because I never used to buy the books. I found them very uninteresting at the beginning. And I really wanted to stay with my intuition. So I thought buying books is just not going to do it for me. So I bought the Medicine Woman a little bit about this book. So, and a spread. So I'm not going to stay too long on a book, but I just love it. I'm absolutely amazed by this book. This book is like the Fool's Journey. That's how it starts with the major arcanas. However, it is more practical, as in you see that the Fool, for example, is seed. Hi, Tarot Quest. Nice to see you. Can you hear me well? I'm working with the Medicine Woman Tarot today. So if you want to grab a deck, if you have any of the same style of deck, that'd be good. But, you know, any deck you want to work with, I'm going to present a way to do a 4-element spread. So sorry about my camera. It doesn't want to focus. Sure. So while I talk, you can grab a deck. And yes, so I received this, and my God, you know, when you talk about good accompanying book to a tarot, oh my God, this is exactly for me. This because just for one card, we start with the Fool, and I'm not going to stay too long on it because I really want to move on to the spread. So I know my camera is not focusing the way I would like it to. Come on, it's not that hard. So number, it starts with the number, the traditional name, the Medicine Woman energy. So for example, the Fool, listen to this, is the seed being carried by the wind. I love this. Then there's an affirmation. Then the card speaks. Oh, you have the Medicine Woman, that's perfect. Do you have the book too? Then you have an exercise with the card that you have to do, so very practical. Then you get a meditation, then a visualization, then the astrological signs, so in this case it's Uranus, the foods, the colors, and then you begin your journey. And we're still on the first card, the Fool, right? I'm going to see if I can stop this camera from going back and forth. It's really annoying me, and I'm sure it's not pleasant for anyone. There. Stop now. Ah. So now it's going to go all blurry. Anyway, where was I? Yes, then you're beginning the journey. And your journey, she describes how the universe is. And she says that Goddess is God us. And I really like this. So you have you, and you have your attitudes, desires, all that. Then you have the guides, then the archetypes. So I suppose it relates to the tarot. Wait, I'll use this. Then you have the planets. And then you have the God us. It's wonderful. And then you have this fantastic meditation. I'm not going to do it today, but look at that. That's how you start with your tarot. You're at the beginning with the Fool, and you're going to go through all these steps for your meditation. You're going to meet yourself, you're going to meet your guides, then you're going to come back down with gratitude. It's just, this is a map of how every day should be. And it's not, is it? But how you can make every day maybe. And take bits of it if you can't do it all. And yes, it does sound a bit woo-woo, and I agree. But you know me, I use woo-woo to get very practical and have steps that I can work with and to better myself, to better my environment, and eventually to have this ripple effect, I hope, on other people. So all the steps of this meditation is there. It's incredible. You have a traveler's guide of who you can meet during your travels. Yes, Heidi, nice to see you. So if you have the Medicine Woman deck, grab it, or any deck you'd like to work with, but we're going to work with elements. So it's true that it's better if it's an Elements Tarot, but it doesn't matter because, you know, swords are air, and that's fine, right? So all the people you meet, even monsters, and I like that. Sexual tempters. I mean, there's, you know, all type of people here. You can meet the language. I mean, there's so much in this meditation. I won't stay too long. A word about making it up. That's very interesting too. Whether, you know, you're imagining it, because really this meditation is to meet your God, your God, the God you believe in, or the God, the creator. And that's just the Fool, right? And then we move to what is the Magician, resources. So once you've planted the seed, you have the resources. Just an extraordinary book. It's just been reprinted. Oh yes, and in the resources you have the chakras. So then you go all about the chakras, and she explains all the different chakras and how you can work with them. And what level the chakras are if you talk about the cards themselves. So it's all the major arcana. So you see the first three at the root level, the root chakra. I don't always agree with that, but when I see a book like this, I try it because you have to evolve in your practice. Hi, Somewhere in Time. Nice to see you back. You have to evolve in your practice. And although sometimes I feel like, you know, I've got the perfect chakra spread for myself, but it can still evolve because it has evolved in the past. So I will try this, the way she describes chakras with the major arcanas. Then the Seeker, the Reflecting Body. I mean, I can't, you know, what a book. What a book, guys. I'm just turning the past into pleasure. I mean, if you see this, you know how the past can just stop us and make us freeze in our lives. Here she tells us how to overcome it. And it's a real practical book. Flowing with the go. I love that too. It's clever. It's clever and simple, right? So anyway, then we move on to the minor arcanas, and I love these. They're called the 4 powers, because really, you know, minor arcanas, it's not minor. Nothing's minor. But the 4 powers, I like these. It's the right name for it. I find that she finds the right names for things. She really thought about it. So here we are. We have our 4 powers. So once again, maybe the placements are not exactly like you would use. For North, for example, she uses earth. For me, earth would be here, not up here. But, you know, I try her way and then I will adapt it to mine. But I don't want to confuse anyone. So if you have the book and you want to follow it, we follow exactly her way. So we're going to use the 4 powers. You have a fantastic here little explanation about all the different powers and claiming your 4 powers, because that's how I started. You see, I learned tarot and swords, cups, and all that. I was lost. It just didn't mean anything to me. And then one day I found the correspondence with elements, and that was it. It clicked in my head because I was already starting an elemental meditation because I had problems. I shuffled tarot. I had problems rooting myself. So elements are very important. They're as important as chakras to me, because if you're not in tune with one of the elements, you're lopsided. And if you're lopsided, you can't be on your life path. And that's that. So she goes into really deep stuff, you know, death and sexual abuse and stuff. It's not love and light workbook. It goes deep as a book can go. You know what I mean? But she gives you tools for everything. So now we're going to get to not the chakra layer. We're going to get to the medicine wheel reading. And what I did is that to make it clearer for everybody. I haven't tried it yet. It's my first time and it's live. Oh my God. So I wrote it down to make it clearer because this is a bit too small. So I'll show it to you so you have time to write it down. Can we see it? Yes. So the first card is about the self, here in the middle. So the way we are at the time of the reading, okay? So we're going to see what the card wants to tell us, oops, at the time of the reading. Then the second card is North. And it's related to Earth for her. So I will read it as Earth. So it's material and it's the stone's suit. The third card is East. It's easy, right? It's fire. And it's pipes and creativity. And also she puts sexuality here. Fourth is South, air, arrows, and obviously the mind. The fifth is West, balls, love and water. And the sixth card will be the evolution. So they're like requests, because she says the evolution card here is a result of following the requests of the 4 directions. So it's a general reading. We're just going to see where we're at, how the elements work in our life for the moment, if they're balanced or not, and then the evolution, as in how we can evolve with these 4 directions, right? Okay, I'll let you write it down. I'm having a coffee. I hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Because, you know, on my own, it wouldn't be the same fun. So, before we start, if you have the deck, you know that we have a card here. Well, it's not a title card. She's got 2 cards. And one of them is like a little opening ceremony. So it's Great Spirit, Mother Creator, bless the earth through my life. Source of all nourishment, we seek to replenish your sacred word. Guide us now through these images, words, feelings within, as we reach into the wholeness. Let all that is needed be known. Isn't that a really nice opening ceremony before you read your cards? Right, so let's shuffle. And up, two jumped out straight away, but I just need one. So I'm just going to shuffle and then pick, because otherwise it's going to be too long. It's nice, isn't it? You see, you can get so much from any deck. And this is not an expensive deck. And the book wasn't expensive either. It's US Games, I think. Yes, it's a US Games deck. So there's no need to put $100 in a, in a, so this one wanted to come first. Like, I love indie decks, but there are some decks, I'm going to put that up a bit. There are some decks that are cheaper and as good or even better. So here, the first card. Then I'm going to pick North. Oh, I'll have to move it. East. South. And how I'm picking, I'm just going like that, right? West. And the evolution, we'll put it on top of this one, right? Of the first one. So we have our 6 cards. Let's go. The self. Don't embarrass me in front of everybody. Thank you. You think, oh my God, what's going to come up? Right. I would like it to be less blurry. That'd be very nice. So, there. The 6 of pipes. So with pipes, we are into our fire, our wands. It's a lovely card, isn't it? That's where I am now. And she has a little, how is that called? Is it a pipe instrument? Can't remember the name right now. It's a pipe instrument anyway that you blow into to make music. And you have a deer here that just comes and, oh my God, the love. And you see here the eagle on the heart, and it's yellow, right? I don't want to go into chakras. I shouldn't go into chakras. Let's not go into chakras, because otherwise we're going to get confused. So right now, I'm more in a doing energy, fire, creative phase. This is what it shows. And if we want to push it and add chakras, of course we can. And you know what's funny with this deck? I've known about it forever, but I always hesitated to buy Native American theme deck, and I knew it looked okay, but somehow I never pushed the buy it now button with it. And now I've got it. I'm like, how could I live without it? It's weird. Evolution, that's how we evolve. That's how we evolve. So yes, here you have the power chakra all over her, but with the wisdom, I was going to say wiseness. Oh my God, the wisdom. Sometimes my English is weird. The wisdom of the ego, of the purple ego, which is from the higher self here, which she just put in the earth. So she's downloading this goodness and sharing it. That's a lovely card to get. And you're going to say, oh yeah, but there's no bad cards in this deck. Well, it's true, they're sweet, right? But even in sweet cards, you can see something in it and go, oh my God, that's, that reminds me of something really bad. So I love the way it looks like mandalas. It's like each card is a mandala to help you transform yourself, it seems. I love the kindness in this picture. I would love to hear the music that accompanies this picture. So I don't know what you got yourself for where you are now, but I'm in a position of, I don't like the word power, but energy here. And my energy is to open up and share, because I'm sharing with the animal here. And I'm not dominating it. I'm on my knees to be at the same level, right? I'm not mastering it. I am communicating on the same level. And that is a brilliant card to get for this. So let's look at the earth element. Oh, you can't see it on the camera up here. I have to, sorry, I have to move the camera a bit. Wow, so you can see, wait. Ah, it's the Fool. You know what this is, right? I'll put it here because so you can see it. It's the Fool, right? Of course, it's my grounding, guys. You see, cards never, they never lie. Yeah, I've, well, what a year it's been. I started the year with going downhill. I don't want to go through my whole story, but I went deep in a place where I couldn't get back up, I felt, right? And before I could not get back up, I sought help. And I don't take medication at all, but I sought help from other people. Yeah, somewhere in time says, yeah, it looks like the animal is smelling the girl, and that's how animals connect with each other. That's true. That's true. So yes, so I sought help, and one of the things that I knew was absolutely wrong with me, but I've known it all my life, is my lack of grounding. I'm so comfortable up there and so uncomfortable grounded was. So I'm uncomfortable because now I'm, how can I say? Comfortable would be a big word. I'm functioning. Well, I've always been functioning. I've always had work and stuff and being independent. It's not that. On earth, let's say, I'm positioned, right? I'm in the right position. After this, I have moments where I enjoy it more and more, but it's not always there yet. But anyway, so you can see my grounding, the Fool, planting the seed, and I'm planting so many seeds because I know my life is about to change. It's been in the works but since 2012. My life is changing and it's going on and on and on, but it's extremely slow. It started very fast and now it's very slow. So this is shown by the Fool. So in this position, it's ways I relate to the earth and material well-being. Well, it's a whole, I'm planting the seeds again for the next step, and it shows. And also my grounding is renewed, let's say. I was a bit grounded before, but now I'm deep. I'm grounded. I'm very grounded now. So we're gonna take the cards for the East. Can you see it? Yes, you can. I'll just push the cable. So this one is the one that covers it. Yeah, right. Okay. So the Nine of Balls. Creativity, sexuality. So what do we see here? We have, so balls are water here. So another thing that I want to say too is that I have water in my fire, on my fire element. So here we have two people on a boat. There's two more on an island waiting here. So it's about meeting, going to someone, going to some place. So this is planned too of moving. I will be moving. So I wasn't expecting to move where I knew people, but it looks like it. I will be welcomed. There's the welcoming party here. So that's very interesting, is that the seed, which I planted, because you have to plant the seed in the ground first for it to happen, it will be happening with my beloved too. How beautiful. Then we move to the south and air, 8 of pipes. And can I, yeah, that's better. Centering it a bit better. Right. So pipes are creativity, as we said, and they're in the mind. So what's on my mind? Well, quite a lot. It's all ceremonies here, isn't it? And look at, she's wearing boots and everything, outfit that she made or someone made anyway. The food is there. There's the, I'm not sure if it's a ceremonial house here. Let's see in the book, 8 of pipes. I don't know this tarot well yet. So your art is your shield and power. All right. It's about the creative energy, yeah. She's surrounding herself with all these creations here. And here it's like a canvas, isn't it? Where you draw or write what you want. You have the sacred eagle up there, which is the air element and brings it to you. So it's fine because I'm in the air here, although it's pipes. I'm in the air. So the air will bring down the idea for me to be creative. It's great. Oh, hi, Brian. Oh, great. Have you got the book? The book, Brian, the book. Oh my God, I'm in love. I'm in love. So I'll show you again in case you don't have the book. To everybody, this is the spread I'm doing right now. Okay, so it's page 230 on mine, my edition. There's been a few editions, right? But it's called the medicine wheel reading. Yes, somewhere in time, I am the master of my creation. And that is hard to believe, right? I've never believed that I could create. I think I was raised by thinking, I don't know if people told me that everybody else could create but me, right? I would put myself down before creating. And that was that nasty voice in my head. So when I see this, I'm like, whoa, yes, that's perfect. And it's fire and air, so you put a bit of air on the fire and it takes, doesn't it? So that's great. On the west, oh, Harvest Lodge of the Stones. Now, Harvest Lodge, it's like, it's the water position. And the Harvest Lodge of the Stones, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Because it's what is a court card, right? Harvest Stone. Plenty for all. Oh, that's cool. It's about your abundance, right? Isn't that beautiful? Abundance in love, in feeling, in water. Yes, I do. Plenty of abundance. However, you can see there's a wall here, right? So always look at things. But I've opened the door and here I've pulled the curtain. That's good of me, isn't it? So I let people in a little bit more. And I'm showing myself a little bit more because that's my emotions. And really what we don't show is our emotions most of the time. So this is a very interesting depiction for the emotion here, because it's exactly what it is. I've started opening the curtain and showing my emotions to people. There's still the wall, still is, but you know, one thing at a time. I think there's even, a crystal here. So always with the highest intention, and that's perfect. So looking at this, we want to look to, it's beautiful and all that, but we want to look at where there might be issues. Well, you can see here, my grounding, my earth, my material, it's the Fool. So it's brand new. So I'm only beginning with in a renewed, flowing manner, right? And here, I've started pulling the curtain on my emotions. So it's work in progress too. I'm not showing myself the way I am to people, too scared to getting hurt, but I'm opening the curtain a little bit. So we go to the 6th card, the evolution. Let's see what it says. And really, oh, look at that. I'm going to be the wise grandmother sharing. I'd like to know what the title of this is, because there's title for everything. And once again, it's stones, 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 right? Beautiful card. Example of stones. We all have protection around us, says somewhere in town. Oh yeah, but mine were like, you know, walls. Like I built walls around me. And I built so many walls that people just didn't know how to talk to me anymore, right? And that was wrong. So I'm putting the walls down. I'm putting them down. The more I'm rooting myself, the more the walls are coming down, because it's an effect of it. You can't, I think I can't do one without the other, because my protection is from the earth. So I don't need to put up the walls. That's why. So the example of stones, the earth is eternally fertile. So once again, it's abundance. So look at this, you know, all the promises here of abundance, of sharing, of this magnificent grounding and being on my path, right? So now, let's say I have a client and I'm doing this spread for a client. The client is going to say, well, it's not that all that rosy in my life, right? So obviously we're talking about elements here. So we need to look at where an issue could be. And I think here, I'm tempted between the two. I want to choose an issue. Is it my grounding, or is it my overprotecting my emotions that I would like to look at? Because my creativity, it's fine. You know, it's fine. All that is fine. I don't have an issue with this, but these two are the two I would like to look into. So which one will I choose? Well, when you talk with your client, obviously they respond, and you will see that something is bothering them more. It might be this one, because they're in a relationship and they want to move on together and build something, and it's just not happening. So you might choose this one depending on what your client says too. But I'm tempted personally, because the wall is the way it is for the moment, but it's linked to this. So I'm tempted to go from this card and look at my grounding, because that's my problem, right? Although now it's on its way, that's my problem. So you pick one card in your spread, and we're going to do another spread with it. And it's going to be with a question, right? So I'm going to take that away. I'm going to leave this. And you know what's funny? This card is damaged because my deck fell. I don't know, you can see it, right? And the card is damaged. Of course, it's the grounding card. So, the second, we chose a card. We have a question now. So we can use this card as the significator for the self or not. That's your choice. And then we do north, practical step to take, east, image to inspire action, south, affirmation, and west, the ritual. So we're going to have tools now to work with our tarot and our life, right? So do I keep the same card or no as a significator? I think I want to for this one. I normally don't do this, but I already had the self card before, so I don't want to repeat a self card. I will use this as my significator. So that's my self card here. Let's pick the other cards. So, I need this. If you have any questions, comments while I'm shuffling, did you find your card you want to work with and work deeper with? Mine is my grounding here. And remember, this card was in my it was in a north position, so in the earth, in the material. And if I'm not grounded here, I can't get to the abundant life that we all supposed to have. And I'm not talking law of attraction or anything. I'm just talking about the life path we have for ourselves. So, I'm going to pick the 4 cards now around this card. So, north, practical step to take. East, image to inspire action. That should be interesting. South, affirmation. And west, which one I'm going to pick for west? This one. Ritual. Okay. Let's go. Practical steps to take. Warrior. The Chariot. There you go. There you go. Yeah. It's the Chariot always reminds me of being here now, right? It's a card for me that because you have these 2 opposing forces, these 2, usually it's 2 horses, here it's just 1. It's really to always be, well, grounded so you don't fall. And it's the same here. Look at the horse. If here he doesn't pull in his knees, right, as strong as he can, he's going to fall off the horse, right? So it is grounding here. It's through the knees. So it's telling me practical step to take, the Chariot. Let's see what it says here in the book. Fantastic book. So, victorious warrior. Yeah. So, practical steps to take. There is an exercise. So first it's self-questioning. How many powers have you given over to others? Isn't that interesting? I wish it wasn't that. So it's about reclaiming your own power. And the exercise is take over a function that you have given over to others. And there is one I'd like to take again. I used to take pictures all the time, and I haven't touched my camera for a few months now. And the last time was for the Christmas parade, so that's quite a while. And I stopped because some people around me were putting up exhibitions and things and all that, and I just stopped. I don't know. I don't know why I stopped, but I stopped. And by giving, I didn't give power to others, but I felt I wasn't as good or something like this. Again, you know, what goes up in your mind all the time. And lately, I've had this thing in my head that I should take up photography again. I've got some, what I think are fantastic images, and I need to push in that way. So that will be my practical step to take. It's to get my camera out again. And so I'm going to write it down because that's what comes up in my mind. So I just put pictures, camera pictures. It's important to write it down. So what is yours? What is your card and what does it tell you? If you need help, if you don't have the book, I can look into the book for you too. If you're using the deck but you don't have the book. Rainbow from the past. I like this too. It means, to me, it means the past has been dealt with. There's nothing that's stopping me from the past, right? It's all good. It's the colors are fine there. But it's from here still, because you see the clouds. There shouldn't be clouds on the ground. So I need to, once again, because it's related to this, I need to double ground myself more to take my pictures and go back to my creative self with this. I've got my answer. Also, it's got the arrow here. I don't know if it's a dove. I'm not sure. Does it describe pictures on this book? Okay. No. It doesn't describe pictures. Okay. Maybe in a little white book. I can't remember. No, I think it was too small. No, it's too small. Okay. No. I don't know what type of bird it is. I always like to know, but... So anyway, there's the thought, and the thought is going up. And he's got, or he's got a crown. So it's very important, not only to be linked up there, to be linked down there. Once again, you know. Yes. But, and radiate, you got the coyote. Okay, Dee, great. Well, yeah, you can. So I'm trying to go as fast as I can. But, you know, keep the spread and look at it and go deep within. But to me, I don't know, this photography thing, because it's on my mind for the moment. And it does ground me, because with photography, you have to stop and look. And you have to look into every scene. You have to put the angle into every scene. People standing there, there's no interest. But if you do put the angle and the magic, and you work with the light, obviously, photography is about light and angles. If you do put the light with it, then you're like, how they call it, an alchemist. You work with your elements and you produce something that is just fascinating. So because it's you, actually every picture you're taking is a projection of how you see things. I find photography fascinating. Anyway, so that is mine. So you got the coyote. Let me look at the coyote. What number? Is there a practical way to find it? Yes, there is. What card number is it? Your coyote? I can't find it like this. D. What card number is it? Is it a major arcana? I don't know. Okay. I wait for your answer. So, this card, East. Image to inspire action. Let's see what it's telling me. Oh, look at that. Totem of stones. Snake the crawlers. There's a rat. Oh my God. Oh, it's arrows. Okay. Oh my God, there's a little rat here. And there's, oh, I wouldn't know in English. You see, aren't they the animals that eat ants or something? Ant eaters. Okay, there's a snake. There's a snail, maybe. So, image to inspire action. So once again, it's the grounding, sure. And then there's a snake biting its tail. And here, you see, you know what I like with this deck too? You look what's in a circle, and you look what is outside of the circle. And you can give it meanings, right? So from all this, I will get a growth, and this is what is going to happen. This is in a background, right? And this is effectively what will happen. So this will be the action. So I need to go back to the basics. I want to do my photography. I want to ground, do my photography. I need to go back to the basics. And the basics are sometimes technology, for example. Everything that's in the background. I need to go back to my background here. So everything that's in the background, I will need to look at. That's easy for me. I can see it. And from once I've done this, and you know, I don't like, it's mice or rat, God, or snakes and stuff. So it's things that maybe I won't enjoy looking at again, because there's a lot of math. If you really go into photography, there's a lot of math and ratio, and that bores me to death. So not all math, but this type of ratio and all. So, but you can see that once so I need to learn more. I need to study more. And that's that in order to make the little piece of art that I want to make. So the affirmation, example of stones, again, she's back. You see, it's my creativity. She's back. She's she was in a position of evolution. So how perfect is that? See, tarot is so good because it's showing me that actually this is right, what I'm thinking. So for the affirmation, we're going to go in the book and look at the example of stones, because it's all written there. I can make my own. The earth is eternally fertile. So the affirmation, there's a prayer. The prayer can do, for example, it's quite a long prayer, but I can also make my own. There's a lesson, so there's a prayer and a lesson. It's talking about how the spring soil is rich, and that's how you become inside. Isn't that lovely? So I could have my affirmation towards abundance. So I can write down words. What do I see here? Abundance, growth, is that a konupsha? I can't remember the meaning of it, of konupsha. Resources. So I wrote down 3 words, and from these 3 words, I could make my own affirmation. So with abundance, growth, and resources. So I've got my 3 keywords. And there's also, because she's older, wise. The word wise comes to mind too. So I've got my 4 words now for my affirmation, which I will write later. But if you write an affirmation for yourself, always thank the universe. Thank you, universe. Finish like this, you know, thank the universe for providing you everything. And then you're giving back. Don't forget to give back, you know, when the universe provides for you, because it's a give and take. So I can do that. Now I can do my affirmation based on this and to help me get back into my practice. And the ritual. Isn't that lovely? The 8 of Balls. And the ritual is looking at the words. Once again, taking pictures. That's what I see here for me. So I can't look at anything else now, because of course it's round. We don't do round pictures when we take photography, but you know, that's what it looks like for me. And you can see that from the clouds at the start. There are no clouds here at the bottom. So it's important to see the evolution of your cards. How they, you see, you go from here, just the snakes and crawlers and stones and everything and sand, to you here being wise and being plentiful, because you've done the journey. And then you can take a picture of that beautiful sunset and share it with others. I find it great. So there, now if you have a client, you have your practical step to help the person root. And it's practical. They will live with the step to take. Let's say for me, photography. They will live with the image to inspire it, which is going back to the books, looking at all the little details, you know, taking your camera, looking at each button, everything to create the picture. They will have the affirmation with the keywords abundance, growth, resources, and wise. And then the ritual. So the ritual, maybe you could say, well, let's go out every sunset and take a picture of the sunset. Maybe for a week, let's see what happens. For a week, every day, that's the ritual. I'm going to go, because I've got a river here, I'm going to go by the river, take a picture of the sunset and see what comes up, see what happens. There, I have read for a client. Obviously, it's on elements, so it's to balance, right? It's to help find the balance, because if the elements are not balanced, then we have difficulties going through life. And mine is grounding, so there it is. I've picked the subject and given very practical steps to my client or to me, or to me, to do something concrete. So when the client leaves, they know that they will have written down what they need to look at, what they need to do. They'll have an affirmation to do every day, and then a little ritual. And it's not woo-woo, it's practical. So there, that's quite a journey with this. And it's my first time I use these cards in this way. It's not a tarot I'm familiar with yet, but I'm really looking forward to going further with it, because a lot of things appeal to me. First, the element, the book is fantastic. What's outside the picture and what's inside the picture fascinates me here. I mean, the circle fascinates me on this deck, because you can read like that too. And you can see here for the grounding, she's above. She's not down there, so she's still working on planting her seeds, right? But the sun has opened up the circle. But you can look at her position. For a grounding card, it's pretty high, right? It's pretty high. So look at everything on your cards. Look at everything. Here they have water, because they've nourished the plants, so they've done it. It's not new. The seed has grown. Look where the seed went. The seeds here, they've grown. And by growing, you can be better at what you want to do. So look at the evolution within your cards without even looking at the booklet. So there. You got lost in the book. There's so much in the book, right? This deck, really, I think to learn it is one card. You just need to pick one card, and then because there's so much per card that it's a whole ritual. And I would even say sometimes one card a week with this one. It's quite a deck to learn, but also you can read it just like this by imagery. It's not too bad. So I've been on nearly an hour. And I need to think about getting ready for work soon. So this was fun. This was, you know, the elements to me are as important as chakras. It's all linked. It's all linked. Because this is my root chakra here, if I move it to chakra, because I wanted to see about my grounding. So it's my root, and it's even my deeper roots into the earth. And I have a practical way now by retaking my photography and getting back into my photography books and doing and taking sunset pictures every day. Oh, me too, Dee. I love that. We learn together, because on this, you know, I'm not a teacher here. You know, people say, oh, you're a great teacher, but I'm learning with you too, by your feedback, by sharing it with you. So there are quite amazing cards. And I feel too, there's a lot of different, it's not just Native American here, because this looks more Hawaiian. I mean, it could be, because I'm French, to me, it could be Tahiti, because it's a French island. I could see this in Tahiti, so somewhere in time. Am I making you buy decks? It's not my aim at all. It's just that I'm trying to find decks that are different. I've noticed that, well, you know me, I'm not a big fan of the Rider-Waite, although it's a brilliant deck. Nothing wrong with it, it's just me. I don't gel with it much. So I'm always trying to find decks that have a voice, really have a voice. And it's a voice that will take me in another aspect of tarot. Because if it's to have the same deck with beautiful images, but, you know, 20 decks with different images, but they all have the same meanings, it doesn't do anything for me. And I need to see what else a deck can bring me. And I feel, it doesn't have to be this deck, but I feel the plus of this deck personally is the way it's been drawn with the circles. First of all, I love mandalas. It's linked to my yoga and meditation, but I'm not, you know, I'm not expert in all of that, but yoga, I know my stuff, but mandalas a little bit. And it taps right into that. I bought it at first for the mandalas. I thought, oh, this is perfect mandalas for me. Because it could be your own mandala. I could use now any of these cards as a mandala. And when it says imagine image to inspire action, this one, I could just have it on my altar for a month or as long as I need. And get inspired by it every day and say, no, you're not getting the camera out today. You're getting the book out because you don't know how to do this and you need to learn, right? And to inspire me, this is my mandala, because once I've done the groundwork, I can make it grow. And it's true in a lot of disciplines we do. But well, so that's my mandala for my photography. Okay, guys, we've given the client a lot of things here by going a different way. If we're reading for the client, by going a different way, it's helping them getting their power back. because that's what it's about. I never have the grounding power. I've never had it. Even at birth, it was difficult for me. So I had a difficult birth. So, and where do you give your power to? These are good questions. When you have a client, he comes out and he's got practical ways of getting over something, of bettering their lives. And it's not you, it's the tarot. You're just a tool here. So Shuffle Tarot is saying this is a beautiful deck, another deck for me to put on my wish list. Yes, too. Sorry, I don't want to be an enabler. I'm sure you can do this, but the book, yeah, get the book. That's for sure. The book I bought separately, personally. I don't know if they have book sets with the tarot. I bought them separately. But the book is so worth it. So worth it to me. Because although it goes a bit woo-woo, you end up with something very practical to do at the end. And that's exactly why I work. I can go even to God, you know, no blasphemy here. Sometimes I talk to God because I need something practical. And sometimes I just and to get something. So it does. Yes, the book will work with other decks. Yeah, because I'll tell you why. Let's move these. It's better if it's elements decks, right? If it's decks based on elements, because really, you know, east, west, all the directions, a tarot with elements would work better. Okay, but I don't see why not, because even just look at the. Show you the Fool. The card speaks, I am the Fool. So it starts with that. So it doesn't matter that it's called Seeds. Yeah, you can use Native American oracles. Then you have an exercise. Then a meditation, visualization. And then you have that journey that I want to try. I haven't tried it yet. So the journey you can do with any deck. Right? That's still the journey and the traveler's guide. So then the magician, let's have a look. So obviously it says, I am the medicine woman, but you can change it by I am the magician, right? When the card speaks, meditation, colors, and then the magician. It goes through the chakras. So you can use it with any deck. Obviously, maybe with the court cards, it will be a bit different. Let's see. Because the court cards are pretty channeling the light, apprentice of pipes. So pipes are fire, for example, and it's the Page of Wands, channeling the light. I suppose you can too. Totem of Pies, the Eagle, the Flyers. I suppose you can. You just have to link them. But obviously it's easier if you have this deck. Yeah, Brian is saying, I think it probably would. The principles are the same. Maybe it would be best with healing decks through, though, like the Herb or Tarot of Transformation. Sure, sure. To me, it's the elements are important, more important. But whatever, you know, whatever deck you want to use with it, you can is transpose. An English word, maybe no. Transfer, maybe. Transfer the meaning to any other deck. You just have to do a little bit of translation. But you know, Three of Arrows, listen to your heart. Instead of having the pierced heart here, it's the prayer is beautiful. I allow the information I need to come to my senses by paying attention to what is before me. Yeah, they're just wonderful. So the fool's journey is actually from planting the seed to the dancer. Oh, and did I tell you the where is it? The judgment card here before I go. You know, my favorite card in any deck? The judgment card. You can see some more cards here. I'll show you. There. There. So if you're tempted to buy it, so at least you see other cards. See how they're dancing at the top here and not in the, to me, it means a lot. It means it's more non-physical here to me, the word cards. This is physical and this is non-physical. There's a lot of layers in this deck. The Emperor is command, and he's smoking his pipe, his sacred pipe. And he's already drawn all his intentions, so he's put his intentions here. Yeah. So, and oh yes, the Ace of Stones with the crystal coming down. Now that's a funny hangman, right? That's a funny hangman. But it's the same, the reflection is reversed. It's just a different way to picture it. The baby for the sun. Did I miss it? Because I'm talking and I'm not looking. Oh my. It's going to be the last one, isn't it? Death, the death card. Yeah. You see, Laurie asked me once, when I did the chakra spread, she asked me, what does it mean when people turn their back and go, you know, at the opposite end of the card, as in they don't go right, they don't go left, they go at the back. So I gave her a few interpretations, but death is one of them. Yeah. So it's the end of it. That's the dawn. The Tower. It's different. There's my judgment. Now, this judgment card is one of the best I've ever seen. To me. You know, I love, it's my favorite card in a deck, and I always look at the judgment card in any deck. Her life path is on her head. Where's my stick? There. That's her life path. Look at that. From the everyday life to her inspiration, her spirituality, and her guides, totem animal, anyone that helps her linking. You have some tents here too, a tree, the house with the smoke, and the smoke is the path. It's just a wonderful card. And it does show that judgment is a lot more than just... It's a difficult card to interpret, but to me, judgment is really when you are completely linked to, and everything falls into place. It's like the angel call. It's really like this. It's difficult to put it into words because it's so big. And really, it looks like she's like a cosmonaut. It looks like she's got that bubble around her because she's on another planet and she needs to breathe, doesn't it? It's above her head. I just card this judgment card. So on this, I'm going to leave you because it's been an hour and 10 minutes, right? Thank you so much for staying with me all this long. I hope you got something out of it. And to see that from a simple spread, then you can ask another question and get your answer. Yeah, the gift of discernment, yes. And it is a gift here. It's not just earthly discernment, it's inspired. That's the word I was looking for in that judgment card. It's the higher inspiration here that's at play. But I love how it looks like she's in a globe herself, her head and her life is in a globe like this. And there's the other world all around. I don't know. It's very deep to me. Thank you for being with me and all your comments. And don't forget, is it tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow. Hermit's Cave. Don't forget his live tomorrow. It's going to be Patrick Valenza. I think it's tomorrow, isn't it? I think it is. Patrick Valenza interview. So don't miss that and get your deck ready because I tell you what, I'm going to get I think I've only got one, the Deviant Moon. You're welcome, Shuffle Tarot. You're welcome, Somewhere in Time. So yes, get any Patrick Valenza's decks you have and get ready. For me, I think it's 4 p.m. I've got to double check the time tomorrow if he changed it. Normally it's 4 p.m. French time for me, I think. So don't forget to watch him. It's going to be a very special interview. And thank you everybody for being here, participating, and I'll come back soon with another topic. Bye-bye.